6 members of the Pakistan cricket squad who are in managed isolation in Christchurch have tested positive for COVID-19. The Ministry of Health says the 53 members of the squad were tested when they arrived in the country on November 24th. All members of the squad returned negative results on the 4 occasions they were tested before leaving Lahore. As well as that, the ministry says since their arrival, several team members have been seen on CCTV breaching managed isolation rules, and the team has been issued with a final warning. Just what impact the positive cases will have on the team's visit here remains unclear. Sports Minister Grant Robertson has declined our request for an interview tonight. His office says this issue is the domain of the COVID Minister, who we are also trying to contact. But back in September, Mr Robertson told Checkpoint's Nita Blake-Persen that any positive cases in sports teams touring here may mean the end of the tournament.
What happens if one of these players does test positive?
Well, sadly then, in the case of most of these things, that would probably mean the end of the tour or the tournament, because the clock would start again for the teams, and that would probably end up meaning that the games wouldn't be able to be played. And that's actually the risk that obviously the sports themselves are carrying. In order to be able to train as a group, they're taking the risk that if one of them gets sick, that effectively means the whole team has to stand down. If there were other arrangements where we had smaller bubbles, then perhaps you'd be able to manage that a bit differently. But that's where the sports have landed. Our Ministry of Health has said, well, we can manage the public health risk that way, but clearly if someone tests positive, then the clock restarts, and that may well mean we won't see those teams actually play.
That was Grant Robertson speaking to Nita Blake-Persen on the programme back in September. Pakistan was due to play its first match of its tour against the Black Caps on the 18th of December in Auckland. We have requested an interview with the COVID Response Minister, Chris Hipkins, the Director General of Health, Dr Ashley Bloomfield, and the Head of MIQ, Darren Webb, and we are still waiting for a response from all three.